Yeah.
I ignore the gist. I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to be liking that. So, yeah, that's where the consistency thing battles it out with the NI gist seeking. The NI's like, oh no, let's try to get this picture, and then TI's like, no, particulars, consistency,
Mhm.
and it's like, yeah. Sorry, I'm having a revelation about this as you're bringing it up. I'm having a revelation about this that it's like the consistency thing. It wants consistency. It wants to pin. That's the TI. It's trying to parse this shit out. It's trying to figure it out. And then NI's like, if you would stop fucking moving for a second, if you would, well, it's weird. It's like if you would stop moving, but in another way, it's saying go with the flow. It's saying moving. Stop resisting. Stop moving of your own accord and start following the flow as it goes, and you'll find the consistency that you're looking for. As long as you try to take the reins of the consistency, you're going to fuck it up.
That sounds like a huge conflict.
Yeah, it is. It's that I would say
NITI, you said?
What's that?
You said NITI?
Yeah, NITI. So now I'm trying to understand.
Like INFJ?
Yes.
Okay.
See, now I'm trying to understand what that would look like for like
that's so cool.
FE for you guys. Like what that would look like, where there's this conflict of like, oh, I'm trying to attain something with this dominant, and then this tertiary is like, oh, let me take control. I'll figure it out. I'll do this. I'll manage.
I'm sorry, I've really got to use the bathroom real quick.
You're not forgetting. Okay.
Continue conversation. Audra, jump in.
Yeah, no. Effie's this little guy sitting over here going, they're probably tired of you interrogating this information out of them, but it's not a very loud voice. Like it occasionally goes, this really is,
So I feel like my TI is loud.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Then again, perhaps you don't notice the FE.
Because you're talking about because you were framing it in opposition. Like I almost feel like it's not an opposition. Like the FE, usually for me at least, I feel like it's more cooperative, and it's like
it's opposition and imbalance.
It's like smoothing out the edges in order to perpetuate the any fishing.
When well, I certainly don't regret any of the consistencies that I've found. I'm not saying that TI is bad in that way. I'm saying that when it's an imbalance, when I'm trying to find this dominant NI thing, the more I try to focus in on these individual pieces, I get frustrated. If I stay in that consistency finding for too long, I lose sight of the gist. I lose sight of what it is that I'm trying to find, and that makes me feel aggravated. So you were talking about that small FE voice. Imagine if you had this drive to seek that a lot, and it got in the way of your NE consistently.
Right.
That would be annoying.
Well, and I could see that happening with I could see that happening with people who are maybe gave their FE more of a vote.
Yeah.
I feel like
I kind of feel like that's where
a little more than I do. I
kind of feel like that's where Nick struggles sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That it's like,
yeah,
because I kind of feel like there's this, like I've said this before, like with FI polars, it seems like if people react negatively to you, they really react. Or like if they react positively to you, they really react. Like the reactions aren't as muted, it seems like. But it's like for him trying to tap into that, like, oh, look at me using this tertiary, like look at me using this FE here. Like me, if I try to overly make consistencies out of things, if you're like, no, that's wrong, then I start getting flustered because I'm wanting to be consistent, I'm wanting to be accurate. So the more people say, no, that's wrong, no, that's also wrong, the more I'm striving to find consistency. And the more I strive to find consistency, the more I'm losing touch with this this sort of bigger whole seeking thing. The more I lose touch with essentially the core of who I am, the more frustrated I get. So like in an FE sense, like when you're trying to like manage perceptions or get people to feel good about this kind of stuff, it's like, more this pushing. I imagine that tertiary FE is more this pushing. Okay, so feel good already. So look at me positively already. Fucking love me. And it's like, no, we don't want to fucking do it.
Point
So
is just leave it in the back seat because it's like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And you're just like, no Effie. And then occasionally it does have good observations, but don't let it drive. Don't try to take the car.
I feel like the fact that
I can drive the car if it has to.
So I kind of feel like tonight.
Else in the front seat, and
I think that has to do with the 8 versus 9, though. To be honest with you, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I feel like I'm 739 or 793, and I feel like the 9 really made me look at FE in that kind of way. Like a community sort of sense.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, because valuing that harmony, kind of keeping things.
I wonder if I wonder if different. I mean, this is probably true, but different Enneagram stackings lead to you being fucked in particular.
I think definitely so.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know what it is. I'm not sure, but I think I'm in the 469 tri-type dominant 9, which is like the seeker. That's what it gets called. Oh hey, there's Zach. I think Zach's a 469 tri-type. I'm not sure. Is that true, Zach? Are you a 469?
I don't know.
Okay. Good talk.
That was a good talk.
Yeah, that was concise to the point. I like
There's a lot of echo happening.
Oh yeah, you gotta mute the raw room, not in a metaphysical sense, but the literal thing.
Okay,
Specify.
okay, she's muted. Wait, it's still
The literal person.
The
oh,
bot.
user.
You're gonna mute the bot.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
I muted the bot.
there you go. Are we
But,
talking about shit? There's something there. Oh yeah, the
so
Enneagrams.
with the Enneagram stuff, I think I might be in the seeker archetype, which is 469, with as I said, dominant 9. So like 946 or 964, I don't know. But no, it's like typically I think 5 is more identified with TI in a lot of ways. Like you get a lot of INTPs that are like type 5s or stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, like just that term, the seeker. I'm thinking. I feel particularly loud in the TI area of things. When inconsistencies and things like that. Which, even though it may not seem like it, I think that's part of the reason why I have sympathy towards Nick, because it's like I can kind of see that pattern of like that striving to utilize this thing, and then having it backfire. I'm like, fuck, I've been there. I hate that. I fucking hate that.
I've always had more of a conflict because I feel like 7 and 9 have a sort of conflict with each other.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's like NE versus FE, basically. Like, I want to explore all these options, but I need to tend to the group in a sense. You know what I mean? And that's definitely like, I don't know. I think Nick's like a 3, didn't he say?
I think so. He said 3 or an 8.
Yeah, so he's trying to tap into FE. But like I don't, yeah. So my conflict has always been like trying to shut FE up. It's really a 7 and a heart. I just
Yeah.
I care about 9.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think of FE in a very like I get the like feeding the FE, and I get using the FE as a tool, but rarely, if ever, I guess, as a primary motivator.
I've read about. Have you ever read about loops? Because I read about it randomly when I was researching random shit, and there was the 2 kind of loops. The NE uses TI to get FE, positive reaction to group wise or whatever, or the NE uses FE reactions from the group to get TI a better understanding of or whatever, something like that. And that comes out in trolling half the time, which is why you get people kind of like Roman. Just
Yeah,
use
all the
FE
links
to
are
get reactions.
multiple loops.
hmm
I
I feel
think
like
of
I was in
one
the first loop.
as an input, one more as an output. So like if I'm just like watching people and not really, if I don't have a real goal in mind, I'll just kind of turn on an information input, which would be more the like NE to FE, just
Mhm.
kind of intuiting the FE, and then seeing what I learned from that and like through
Exactly.
TI and ignoring it, and then yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people like to do that in trolling. Not everybody does that in trolling though, but yeah, that's like that kind of loop. I feel like I was stuck in the other one for a little while because of just how life played out.
Yeah, I feel like I was more comfortable in the other one earlier in my life. Like I would try to NE TI and like figure out how to FE stuff. I mean, like I gotta make sense of this and then
Mhm.
do it. And I think I've gotten a lot more comfortable, honestly, input and output, just letting the NE FE kind of like, yeah, just letting the NE like directly drive the FE and trusting it.
Yeah.
But it-
Yeah.
letting TI take a back seat. Go sit over here, TI. And tell me what you learned.
Right.
But
I think INFJ is an interesting because of the NITI though, because I'm interested in conflicts. Like, I feel like NEFE is kind of a conflict, and I feel like NITI is definitely a conflict.
I wonder how, since we got Zach here, we got a FINI for him. Wonder how that's a conflict. How like having this dominant sort of internal ethics seeking or internal emotional.
Island full of leopards.
Yeah. So yeah, basically Zach in our there you go in our what was it? Our something that we were doing. Yeah, no, we were making analogies of FI for ENTPs. And it's like they view their own FI as like an island off in the distance, probably full of lepers.
And most of the time we're just looking at it through like a scope. Like we very rarely visit. Occasionally we like black out and wake up on the island, which freaks us out. But most of the time we're just like looking at this very small island and trying to like maybe get, we're like, well, we'll see what's going on there. And we're very convinced it's full of lepers. Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to add
I'm
like
definitely
it's a very small island. Like it's even though it's there, like it's still a pretty small island. But if you ever, and so it's very rare that people ever like accidentally like find the island or run over it or try to attack it. If they ever do accidentally run to the island, like we marshal all forces, like the lepers attack. But in general, it's so small, like it very rarely gets noticed in the general warfare of things. Campaigns usually miss it.
Yeah, there's too many other things.
That's basically ISFP.
Like yeah.
That's basically ISFP-NE. That's their island full of lepers. Is the extroverted intuition.
Maybe the ISFP is like what we think a leper is for a second. Chilling on the island. Like, who is that on the island? A leper? Okay.
FI.
So, like,
what are they?
Swore I saw him there.
What was that, Zach?
Like, so like FI is like if you guys just like don't understand your emotions as FE users or something.
It's
It's that
fair.
we don't pay attention to them. Like, I think that, like, I don't know. I tried to at one point, but not really. Like, it's just like, I feel like I kind of get why they, I get why they occur and like, I get the feeling, but it's not something I delved into in an emotional sense like that. It's something that's like, I don't know. I just don't pay attention to it like that. I didn't know you could. Honestly, I was surprised
I
when
can,
I learned about this.
The first thing ENTPs do is that eventually they discover that the island exists, but for a long time they don't even know it's there.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the developed ENTP is the one who knows the islands exist and is looking through the binoculars at the island regularly. And entertains the possibility that lepers could be nice. You might have a good conversation with it at some point.
So like
Might
you
have-
don't trust your emotions.
It's like I think it's like in a way.
They're not very nuanced, I don't